Real quick before the video starts, if you love sports, subscribe to us. We post daily on This Day in Sports videos, documentaries, our weekly podcast, and more.
The New England Patriots are the greatest dynasty to come out of the NFL in the 2000s. And with great teams come great players that excelled along the way. These are the top 10 New England Patriots of all time. Bruschi was the heart and soul of the Patriots defense during their first 3 Super Bowl runs in the early 2000s. The defensive leadership he brought to the table is one of the main reasons why the Pats were able to capture the Lombardi Trophy. Bruschi was also named to 2 All-Pro teams and made a Pro Bowl at his linebacker position, earning him the number 10 spot on this ranking. Edelman flourished as a 7th-round pick and quickly developed into the quintessential Patriots slot receiver of the 2010s. Most of Edelman's success has come on the biggest stages in the postseason, where he is second in postseason history for receptions and yards behind Jerry Rice. He was also named the Super Bowl 53 MVP after amassing 10 catches and 141 yards against the Rams. Edelman made one of the most difficult and memorable catches in NFL history to help the Patriots come back from the biggest Super Bowl deficit of all time versus the Falcons in Super Bowl 51.
Here's Edelman broken up, and the pass is no sign yet. Edelman comes down with a football, and they're saying it's a catch.
Morgan was a big play receiver for the Patriots. He led the league in yards per receptions in 1979, 1980, and 1981, as well as leading the league in touchdowns in 79 as well. Morgan went from a very good receiver to a great one in 1986, recording 86 receptions and 1,491 yards in an era where throwing the football was not as common as it is today. He also ended up 5th in touchdowns, 4th in receptions, and 2nd in receiving yards that season, only trailing Jerry Rice. He finished his career averaging an NFL record 19.2 yards per reception as a Patriot, as well as earning his way to 4 Pro Bowls over his 13-year Patriot career. Maine Coons didn't have a long career, only playing 9 seasons for the Patriots, but he was dominant on the interior of the offensive line, making 6 Pro Bowls and being named to 6 All-Pro teams. He also made the NFL All-Decade team for the 2010s. Unfortunately for Maine Coons, he joined the team 1 year after their 2004 Super Bowl win and left 1 year prior to their win in 2014. So despite the talent of Maine Coons, he left New England titleless. Tippett was a dominant pass-rushing force from his linebacker position with New England. He is the Patriots' all-time sack leader with 100 and only one of 7 players in NFL history to top the century mark in sacks. Tippett finished his 11-year career as a 5-time Pro Bowler and made an All-Pro team 4 times. Tippett was also the defensive leader of the 1985 team that made Super Bowl 20, the first Super Bowl appearance in Patriots history. Law was the leader of the secondary during the Patriots' early Super Bowl runs. He was a ball hawk in his 10 years in New England and earned 5 Pro Bowl selections. Quarterbacks feared to throw to Law because of his capability to intercept the football, and he also came up with one of the most iconic moments in Patriots history.
And the officiating crews are all-star crews. They haven't worked together all year.
Ball has to let it go, picked off. Ty Law down the sidelines, touchdown. That's what the Patriots were waiting
for. Gronk only played 9 seasons, but that was more than enough to solidify himself as one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He was the star pass catcher on the Pats' last 3 championship runs and was almost unguardable. He was faster and more athletic than opposing linebackers, and taller and stronger than the opposing secondary. Gronk was also one of the best blocking tight ends in the league as well. His all-around play earned him 5 Pro Bowl nods and 4 first-team All-Pro selections. Gronkowski would develop a rapport with Tom Brady and become Tom's most trusted set of hands over the past decade. Honorable mentions for this list include Drew Bledsoe, Bruce Armstrong, Matt Light, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Vince Wilfork, Willie McGinnis, and Mike Haynes. Hanna was undoubtedly the quintessential Patriot. The 9-time Pro Bowler and 10-time first-team All-Pro was feared on the offensive line and was named the greatest offensive lineman of all time by Sports Illustrated. He was an undersized lineman, but what he lacked in stature, he made up for with speed and athleticism. As the leader of the Patriots offense in the 70s and early 80s, Hanna led them to their first Super Bowl appearance in Super Bowl 20 in 1985, and after that season decided to lace up his shoes. Yes, kickers are people too. Vinny is the greatest kicker in NFL history, and Vinatieri started his NFL career with the Patriots in 1996, and was there for their first 3 titles of the Patriots dynasty in the early 2000s. He holds the NFL record for most points scored and most field goals made, and has 3 of the most iconic moments in Patriots history.
This is the Patriots season on the line. The kick is away. It is good.
Here comes one of greater importance if he makes it. And it's right down the pipe. Adam Vinatieri. No time on the clock, and the Patriots have won Super Bowl 36. Unbelievable.
Patriots looking for a second Super Bowl title in 3 years from 41 yards. Looks good.
No surprises here. Brady deserves his top spot undoubtedly. His resume speaks for itself as a 6-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time regular season MVP, 14-time Pro Bowler, and 3-time first-team All-Pro. Brady has won more playoff games than any other quarterback. He led the greatest Super Bowl comeback in NFL history. He led one of 4 teams in NFL history to pull off a perfect season. He is the first unanimous MVP since 1986. He has never had a losing record in the regular season and is the greatest quarterback of all time, spending 20 seasons in New England.